Well, good evening, good evening. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live edition of Carolina Panthers Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming on the U to the Tube. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Feel like it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a good while. First off, happy Ash Wednesday. Hope everybody's been having a good week so far. It is February 22nd of 2023. What's up, Jeff R? Good to see you. But dealing with a little bit of groin pain, but hanging in there. Long day, but good to be back on here. So tonight just want to chat it up quite a bit, talk about a couple of things, and kind of leave it open, for discussion. But yeah, Carolina Panthers coaching staff had a handful of folks that did a press conference. A few key things stuck out. Going to talk some more about Frank Reich. Going to talk about the idea of the defense, the base defense, switching back to a 3-4. We're going to talk about that. And we're in the period now where the Panthers can start using the franchise tag. So, who should the Carolina Panthers franchise? And pretty much just go from there. There's quite a good bit we can discuss, but I just really wanted to get back on here and chat it up with y'all. But before we get started, be sure to check out the link in the description to Game Beauty for an impressive lineup of video game themed cosmetic and makeup products. And if you see something that tickles your fancy, you want to make a purchase, be sure to use the promo code BlitzBallChamp, all in caps. You can get 10% off of your order. So definitely use that coupon, make it good use. Anyway, let's get started. So one of the things that I noticed was Frank Reich had mentioned calling the plays until it gets to the right point of when he'll shift that over to Coach Brown. Now, I have to say, I can kind of understand where he's coming from, being that even though Thomas Brown is the offensive coordinator, we have to also keep in mind Thomas Brown does not have any experience as offensive coordinator in the NFL, only in college, but he doesn't have offensive coordinator experience in the NFL. So I can kind of understand why Frank Reich is going with this approach. And I mean, he does have a history of, calling the plays. So, which I know there was a lot of speculation as to who was going to call the plays, even when we got the offensive coordinator, which it was only very recent that Thomas Brown got hired. So it's still pretty fresh, if you know what I mean. But, I mean, what do y'all think? Do y'all think this is the right approach? Do y'all think this makes sense? I mean, we already have an idea of what Frank Reich wants to see in the offense. Wants to see the ball being ran, but at the same time, he believes in chunk plays and getting the ball downfield. Very, very necessary. I definitely like how he's thinking when it comes to this, because look back on last season, we did pretty decent on the run. Passing, not so much. But I really like where Frank Reich is coming from as far as the importance of running the ball but also the importance being that this is a passing league, as he identified, that you got to be able to get the ball downfield. Those chunk plays are going to be needed. They're going to be needed. And, we didn't have a lot of them. We didn't have a lot of them. So I definitely like the sense of urgency when it comes to that. Now, of course, it's going to really have to come down as well as the personnel, the talent, in executing these plays or this high-powered offense. Because you look at a lot of the ratings of this Panthers offense last season, they were pretty low. Pretty low. Even for what success we were able to have in that 7-10 season, the offensive ratings were a little low. Now, hopefully, in the aspect of getting three things, in the aspect of getting more chunk plays, capitalizing in the red zone, and third down, being able to convert third downs. Now, I will say this. I felt like in the games that the Panthers won, they did an extremely good job with time of possession. So I don't think that's their biggest problem, but I think chunk plays, third down, red zone, I would say are three things that I believe need to be emphasized in the play calling and just keeping the offense going. Kevin McFarland, welcome to the stream. Let's see what you got to say. Hello. I found it funny when one of the coordinators said that Carolina is one of those teams that have always had consistent success. 2 Super Bowl appearances. I find that funny, but I'm excited. I'm ready for this season because we do have better coaches, but is Carolina really that successful of an organization? Probably not. I mean, it hasn't really shown yet as far as, championships and stuff like that. They're not there yet, but I mean, this could be the start. I mean, one of the buzzes going around is how well this coaching staff is shaping up. And it's definitely shaping up greatly. I mean, I have to say, this is probably one of the best round of coaching staffs I think Carolina has had, just all in its entirety, And I think there's a lot of potential for this to help equal success. I do. And you know what? With this offense, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how Thomas Brown, Frank Reich, how Jim Caldwell, how Parks Frazier, folks like that are really going to, sync up. And even Deuce Staley, assistant head coach, really see how this combo, this collaboration is going to really blossom. That's really what I'm looking forward to when it comes to offense, defense, special teams, just how everything is going to blossom together. Kevin says the coach could have easily went to another team. Literally, maybe a few other teams I would not go to. Apparently, one of the words is apparently Frank Reich had a chance to, I believe, interview or go to the Eagles. I think that was one of the things that I came across. But yeah, good point. Of course, it is easy when you go to coach the Niners, but is that a fun challenge? No, Panthers will be, though. You're not wrong there. You are not wrong there. But, you know what? Since Frank Reich got here, he's really been busy. He's went to work hard, and look at how things have turned out. Carolina Pride, welcome to the stream. How do you feel about Mike White as a free agent possibility? He was slinging it with the Jets, and a competition with Corral could be interesting. Mike White. I'm trying to. Oh, Mike White, who came in for filled in after Zach Wilson went down. I mean, he showed a little something. He showed a little something, but that's an intriguing question. He did a little something, but I mean, 75.4 passer rating, not bad. 62.2 completion percentage, 2,145 passing yards, 8 touchdowns. Does have 12 interceptions, but I mean, definitely looks like he has potential to grow. The only thing is, I mean, he has a 2-5 record as a starting quarterback. But I mean, I don't know. Like, he did do a little something last season. He did do a little something. So I will give you that. He did a little something. But I don't know. How do y'all feel? I want to open that up. How do y'all feel? The idea of Mike White? Because personally, I really want something fresh. But the idea would still be competing with Matt Corral. So Carolina Pride does make a point. Would be cheap and with this staff development, which is a fair point. That is a fair point. No Hall of Fame quarterback though. I think we really need to start fresh on the quarterback. Hall of Fame quarterback is too. Now, Kevin, are you saying no Hall of Fame quarterback? Are you saying is the question that we don't go after one, or that this person won't ever be one? Like, can you rephrase that? I wish the Panthers could get a quarterback like Darrelle Revis. I would love that. He was a great player. Well, I mean, we could develop one. I mean, J.C. Horn had quite a sophomore year. So, I mean, we could end up developing one. Do I think we should go, after one? I mean, we'll have to see what's available. Carolina Pride says his receivers were eating with him in, which is true. I mean, after all, Carolina Pride, Garrett Wilson, Offensive Rookie of the Year. So you make a good point there, Carolina Pride. The only thing is his decision making. And the reason why I mentioned that, Carolina Pride, is because he does have more interceptions than touchdowns. That's the only thing I do kind of wonder is with his decision making. But can he sling it? Absolutely. We might not go after one, but I hope. I just want a quarterback that can produce consistent play and accuracy. Oh yeah, facts, absolutely. But I definitely agree that whoever we get, Matt Corral is going to be competing with for sure. So, but that's an intriguing idea though, Carolina Pride. That's a very intriguing idea. I think it's crazy that he played through broken ribs, but you know, Carolina Pride says that could improve under Reich, Caldwell, and McCown. So let me ask you this though, Carolina Pride. If that's the case, what about the idea of bringing back Sam Darnold? And I only say that because Sam Darnold is technically younger than Mike White. How do you feel about that? Just throwing that out there. Kevin McFarland says one thing I can almost guarantee is the quarterback will likely we get likely won't be a great one, but we will see. You never know. You never know. Here's hoping, but you never know. Would free up the ninth pick, and we could get an edge or cornerback. I know there's been a lot of talking about the idea of if we had the quarterback situation set, going either edge or cornerback, but my whole thing is this. I honestly think it's time. I think it's time we need to hit this quarterback situation hard. We haven't hit this quarterback situation hard since Cam Newton. If we can be honest with ourselves, I think we need to really hit this quarterback situation hard. We need to get our guy. I think we really need to get our guy. I'm not discrediting any other ideas, but I really think we need to get our guy because it's been long enough. At least I feel like it. I feel like it's been long enough. Bryce Young would be great, but what will we have to trade? I've heard rumors about Foreman. We need to keep Dante Foreman. There have been some other suggestions if we don't keep him, like perhaps going after Jamal Williams. And I think there was one other I couldn't think of, but I know that was one name that was mentioned. Carolina Pride says Sam would cost more and put us in cap trouble, and with the extra saving, short up the defense for skill positions and free agency. And that is a con with Sam because I would think he would want a little bit more money. I think he would definitely want a little bit more money. So there's always that possibility. But I really think, and I would love to keep Deontay Foreman. Absolutely. I would really love to keep him. And who knows? He might be one of the ones may franchise tag. But there have been other names mentioned. I mean, you got Devin Singletary, Jamal Williams, Kareem Hunt, Miles Sanders. I mean, shoot. A healthy Kareem Hunt? Shoot, Jamal Williams? I mean, we saw how well Jamal Williams did with the Lions. I mean, shoot. Carolina Pride says, I also like Gibbs in the second round. Oh, in the second round? Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs, running back out of Alabama. Oh, okay. Right on. Kevin says, I would love Josh Jacobs. He is unbelievable. Man, Josh Jacobs, that would be sick. That would be sick. Maybe we will draft Luke Kuechly again. I mean, hey, we did draft him at the ninth pick. So I mean, I see what you did there, Kevin. I see what you did there. We did get Luke Kuechly with that ninth pick. But and like I said, we're definitely not just a quarterback away. I do agree. We are definitely not just a quarterback away. But I really think we should get our guy. I really do. I think they should really get their guy. But we'll see what happens. We at least know the Bears are not going to draft quarterback, and the Bears are willing to open up for trading that number one draft pick. So at least there's that. Carolina Pride says D. Sanders from Arkansas reminds me a lot of Luke. Drew Sanders out of Arkansas. Ooh. 6'5", 233. Ooh, wow. Okay. Intriguing. Big guy, too. We are a whole team away. Offensive line needs to heal up. Heal up and just maybe a little bit tweaked, but healed up, yeah, I agree. Wouldn't all of those teams in front of us need a quarterback because of no playoffs? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, you got to remember Kyler Murray is still very young. He's still very young. And like I said, Seattle, they could roll with Geno Smith a little longer. And of course, I would think the Raiders would be looking for a quarterback since they released Derek Carr. So, I mean, we're at least looking at 1, 2, 3, at least 3 teams that are going to go quarterback. I would think at least 3. Carolina Pride says, in my opinion, if we trade up, I think pick number 3 is the sweet spot in front of Indy, would cost less. Yeah, that's what a lot of folks have been saying. If Carolina were to move up to number 3, see what kind of deal they could get for number 3. Because at least with number 3, they'll at least be able to get one of those 3 top quarterbacks, at least. Because we know, I'm pretty sure Texans are going to go quarterback, whether it's Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Will Levis. Kevin says they definitely don't have great quarterbacks. All of the teams in the playoffs have great quarterbacks, and that's the bottom line. I mean, would you say the same about Mark Sanchez? Mr. Butt Fumble? I mean, Trent Dilfer? And Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, so Flacco? I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, those names are cringy, but 2 out of the 3 I just named have Super Bowls. So, I mean, just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Tom Brady ran the show in New England. If he was playing the other teams, likely was not winning the game, which is not a bad point. Which is not a bad point. But I mean, and heck, when you think about it, the Eagles won their last Super Bowl on a backup. So I mean, you never know. You never know. Like, you definitely want to have, the best players that you can to give yourself the best opportunities. But at the same time, you never know who's going to show up. You never know who's going to show up and show out. So, just something to think about it. Carolina Pride says Tanner McKee from Stanford. 6'6", 230. Great accuracy as well as will be available in the second round. Yeah. And they actually, according to the Tankathon, they have potentially the Seahawks getting them in the second round. Interesting. Kevin McFarland says you need a good quarterback to be a good team usually, but there are exceptions. But in hockey, you need a good goalie. In baseball, you need a good pitcher to win. Yeah, there are those few exceptions for sure. But yeah, you definitely want to have the best that you can out there to give yourself the best opportunity to win. For sure, I highly agree. So, franchise tagging. Start giving me names, y'all. Who do y'all believe the Carolina Panthers should put the franchise tag on? If you ask me, if they got to, either Bradley Bozeman or Deontay Foreman. But something tells me it's going to be on Bradley Bozeman. Oh, and congratulations once again to J.J. Jansen. Our good old long snapper's coming back for another season, and he's breaking his own record. J.J. Jansen, the forever Carolina Panther. But hey, I love it. He might as well play until he's like 70. Carolina Pride says I would say Bozeman. Yeah, I would have to say Bozeman is probably the most likely. Jeff R says never pay running backs. Yeah, we did find out the hard way with Christian McCaffrey, so you're not wrong there. Kevin says this team is just frustrating. All team just keeps going around and around. I want the best, but just want to be a good team. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll eventually get there. I believe we will eventually get there. But I would have to agree. Bozeman, I think, definitely should get the nod. But at the same time, as I mentioned, if we can't get Deontay Foreman, I mean, a Jamal Williams, a Kareem Hunt. As a matter of fact, Jamal Williams. I mean, Jamal Williams had one heck of a season. He had 1,000 yards rushing, 17 touchdowns. Jamal Williams was cooking. The only thing is, I don't know how much he would cost, but man, Jamal Williams does sound pretty hot. 27 years old. How old is Kareem Hunt? I believe Kareem Hunt's a little older. Oh, no, Kareem Hunt's also 27 years old. Oh, never mind. But I think Kareem Hunt's he's a little bit smaller, though. He's a little bit smaller than Jamal Williams. Yeah, he's a little bit smaller. Devin Singletary, he's another small back. He's another small back. But Carolina Price says, I wouldn't be mad at trading back into the first round for Bijan Robinson with a quarterback early pick. Bijan Robinson. The running back from Texas. Ooh. 1,580 rushing yards, 18 touchdowns. Dang. 6 feet, 215 pounds. Apparently, looks like, according to the Tankathon, the Bucks might grab him. But I definitely feel like Bradley Bozeman franchise. Because, I mean, when you look at that free agency list, there's really not anybody on that list. Like, aside from Foreman, Bozeman, there's not really a lot of folks on that free agency list to consider bringing back. I mean, while Pinheiro, finished strong, we still have Zane Gonzalez still on contract. So, I mean, and the only person we've re-signed so far, J.J. Jansen, Stephon Sullivan, Giovanni Ricci. So, no idea if they're going to bring back PJ. Sam Darnold probably won't be brought back. Rashard Higgins probably won't be brought back. I mean, there's really not many names on this list that scream bring him back. Jeff R says, I like the running back from Alabama better, Gibbs. Oh, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs. Absolutely. Imagine another year of O-line continuity and development, which I got to give shout out to Ikem Ekwonu. I think he had a good rookie year, and I believe he'll get better. I think he'll get better. Now, let me ask y'all this. So, Frank Reich going to call the plays for now until it gets to a point where he's going to pass that duty to Thomas Brown. How do y'all feel about that? So it sounds like at the start, Thomas Brown won't be calling the plays for now. Which, like I said, personally, he's never been an offensive coordinator in the NFL, only in college. So, I mean, I can kind of understand why they're taking that approach with him. And he's young, so there's a lot of potential to learn and grow. This is his first shot at offensive coordinator in the NFL. And, he's gotten to work under Sean McVay. So, I mean, what I have to see, Carolina Pride says, if I'm Thomas Brown, I'm okay with it because I get to learn under Jim Caldwell and Frank Reich. And that's another big thing. Jim Caldwell, who has also said that he will not accept any more head coaching positions. He's done with the idea of head coaching. No more head coaching. Everything else is, free play, but no more head coach Jim Caldwell. So, interesting. But being that Jim Caldwell is going to help with special teams, defense, and offense, I mean, you'd have to think. You got a lot of collaboration there. I mean, Frank Reich, Thomas Brown. Don't forget Parks Frazier, who's your passing game coordinator. Jim Caldwell. That's a lot of collaboration, I mean, We got a few young guys on this staff, but being paired up with a lot of vets, Caldwell, Wright, Dom Capers. Let's not forget we still got Dom Capers. We got Dom Capers. So I mean, a lot of vets. Deuce Staley. Deuce Staley has gotten his feet wet as a coach. So I really don't imagine any egos clashing. I mean, maybe y'all feel the otherwise, but I really don't feel like there'll be any egos clashing because a good percentage of the staff have worked with each other. So like I said, I know a lot of the fan base wanted Steve Wilkes. I totally get it. One, I'm happy that he still was able to find a spot. But I mean, look at what we've been able to grab. Look at what this organization has been able to do, Like, I think it's very impressive, personally. I think it's very impressive. Carolina Pride says, Josh McCown is a hidden gem. You have a bridge quarterback whose only job is to develop a young quarterback. We are built for quarterback development. No other team in the NFL is this ready for a new quarterback. I mean, he's speaking some facts. I mean, with the squad that we have, and that's why I feel like that February 28th date is going to really be key because that's, we got the combine. That February 28th date is going to be so key. Like, it'll be interesting to see, what scouts have what players the scouts have their eyes on, and, get a chance to look at each of the quarterbacks. Now, if I remember correctly, I believe Josh McCown really praised C.J. Stroud. So, man. But I think realistically, whichever quarterback we end up with, I mean, whether it's an Anthony Richardson or a C.J. Stroud, I think with this coaching staff and being able to develop a quarterback, which is why I really don't have a favorite. Out of this draft class, I really don't have a favorite. I'm pretty open, personally. Carolina Pride says, we have to look at it from what these quarterbacks can become, not what they are now. And Will Levis could develop into a monster. And there's been a lot of analysts that have been speaking on his potential. From an arm standpoint to when he lights it up, he lights it up. I think my only thing from what I've seen of Will Levis, he's got kind of an injury history. That's the only thing that I really saw. He has kind of an injury history. But, that can always get cleaned up. I mean, we saw what happened to Matt Corral, but he's going to have a chance to, come back and get his career started via his sophomore year. So, I mean, main thing is, I think we got to start developing our guy. I think it's at a point where we got to develop our guy. But as I said before, and this is, going back to Derek Carr, the only benefit that I can really see from a Derek Carr is, okay, you take care of that need and you can focus on the other key needs. Carolina Pride says 2022 wasn't a great year from Levis, but 2021 he was elite, which is true. Especially according to the stats. That is true. Okay. So it has been said that the base defense will return to a 3-4. Now, I know a couple of seasons ago, the base defense was a 3-4. Back when we still had Luke Kuechly. Didn't work out too well. So how do y'all feel about the defense going to a 3-4 base? And do we really have the personnel for that? I would love to know y'all's thoughts on that. Because personally, I've never really been a big fan of the 3-4, but that's just me. That's just me. If it can work, it can work. But I've never really been a big fan of 3-4. Because, I mean, I think it's so important that you got to have the personnel for it. You know, to be able to run it correctly and, you know, the right kind of schemes and such. So, I don't know. I feel iffy about it. I feel iffy about it. But we remember how it was last time we ran a 3-4. Also, there's a Cat Crave article. 4 players. So there's 4 players who could follow Thomas Brown to the Panthers. 4 players who will benefit most from Thomas Brown hire. Carolina Pride says, imagine Barno, as in Amari Barno, with a 4.36 speed at outside linebacker coming after you. It could be a normal 3-4 with 10 times the speed, which we have seen some flashes of Amari Barno. I know we didn't see a lot of them this season, but he has shown some flashes. So Barno is somebody that could be built up. Could be built up. I mean, he's about to enter his sophomore season. So he did show some flashes. I'm kind of curious about this article. Let me see this. 4 Panther players that will benefit the most from a Thomas Brown hire. Raheem Blackshear. Wait, do we still have Raheem Blackshear? I didn't think we still had Raheem Blackshear. I thought he only signed 1 year. Hold up. I thought he only signed 1 year. Oh, wow. We still have Raheem Blackshear. I did not know that. I thought we only signed him for 1 year. Well, crap. I did not know that. See, I didn't even know that. I thought we only signed him for 1 year. So Raheem Blackshear could benefit from Thomas Brown. Ian Thomas could benefit from Thomas Brown. Chuba Hubbard. And Tommy Tremble. So a lot of the young guys. And then 4 players who could follow Thomas Brown to the Panthers. Carolina could sign Ode Aboshi for offensive line. Brandon Powell at wide receiver. Gerald Everett. And Odell Beckham Jr.? Nah. No. No. No way. No freaking way. No way. They better not go after no Odell Beckham Jr. I can tell you that right now. They better not consider a Odell Beckham Jr. No freaking way. No. 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 Carolina Pride says Derek Brown and Brian Burns coming from one side and Barno Luvu coming from the other. Just need to figure out nose tackle. This could be scary. Wait, you wouldn't have Derek Brown at nose tackle? You wouldn't have him at nose tackle? Burns, Barno, Luvu. But yeah, you wouldn't have Carolina Price says no, I would have Marquan McCall. He's 340. I mean, Brown is 320. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there have been a few plays where you would move Brown to defensive end. Well, Brown at defensive. I don't know about that. Don't get me wrong. He has a few times chased down the runner. I will give him that. But 6'5", 320-pound defensive end. I don't know. I don't know about that. Four defensive ends are a lot bigger to set the edge. Well, that is a well. Look at the Broncos line from last year. Actually, yeah. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Let's see. Okay. Ioma Uzararike, 6'6", 320. Okay, fair. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I take it Mike Purcell was nose. Well, actually, Carolina Pride has a point. He actually has a point. So let me go back to what you're saying, Derek. So okay. So Derek Brown defensive end on one. So that means on the other side you would have I guess a Marquise Haynes or a YGM. So is that what you're thinking, Carolina Pride? A Derek Brown defensive end, YGM defensive end, Marquan McCall nose tackle, and then Burns, Barno, Luvu, Shaq? The other Broncos defensive end. is a free agent as well. Oh, gotcha. Was it Draymond Jones? Yes, but YGM is a bit small. True. Yeah, which I feel like YGM might be on the hot seat. If I can keep it real, YGM may be on the hot seat. I mean, and see the crazy thing is Marquise Haynes, who has more experience, he's smaller than YGM. I mean, YGM 6'5", 265. Marquise Haynes Sr. 6'2", 235. Dang, I didn't think he was that small. Holy crap. I didn't think Marquise Haynes was that small. Wow. Okay. Carolina Pride says Shaq and Brandon Smith as inside linebacker. Brandon Smith, who I hope can stay healthy, because I believe Brandon Smith can be something special. That dude can hit hard. Shaq and Brandon Smith as inside linebacker and Luvu Barno outside on one side. Burns on the other, with Chen moving in at times. Okay, since you mentioned Jeremy Chen, personally, Carolina Pride, I think we may need to consider moving Chen back to where he originally was his rookie year. Because I really feel like that's where he was the most successful so far. But no, that's very intriguing. I'm picturing it now. Shaq and Smith on the inside, Luvu Barno outside, Burns on one side, Derek Brown, Marquand McCall nose. I would love to see it in action. I would love to see it in action. Just to get an idea, I would love to see it in action. Yeah. So with you saying that you believe that we do have the personnel for 3-4, like as of now, but I guess barring any crazy switches or additions and stuff like that, right? Carolina says I would move him around the back end like Parsons does on the front end for Dallas to move him literally everywhere. So make Jeremy Chen, kind of mix him up depending on the package, I guess. Huh. And you know what? Amari Barno is a decent size. 6'6", 245. Okay. Yes, we need another cornerback to cover opposite of Horn in a defensive end, and it would be a sideline to sideline 3-4. Well, here's the thing. Dante Jackson's still under contract, but Dante Jackson's been, quote unquote, borderline injury prone. So that could be an issue. And CJ Henderson definitely ain't cutting it. Unfortunately, I mean, we still have CJ Henderson signed, but CJ Henderson just ain't cutting it. I mean, he supposedly had a little bit of a better season, second half of the season, but that's not saying much for CJ Henderson, to be honest with you. Carolina Pride says, I like Dante, but he's a bit small and injury prone. So my thing with Dante Jackson, he looks great when he makes plays. I mean, the dude has what? 14 career interceptions? Yeah, 14 career interceptions. So when he makes plays, he makes plays. I will give him that. But like you said, injury prone, has a tendency to get beat deep as well. So really, Dante Jackson, he's iffy. But I mean, the dude has 14 interceptions. So, I mean, the dude can make plays, I guess, when he wants to. We ran a 3-3-5 and looked good doing it at the beginning of last year, which at least the defense was, the saving grace for the most part. But I think the main thing that I really want to see is Carolina defense used to be a defense that was full of takeaways. Thieves Avenue, they were full of takeaways, fumble recoveries, interceptions. Like, we need to get back to stacking up on the takeaways. Because while supposedly 2 seasons ago we had the number 2 ranked defense, we didn't have that many takeaways that season. We didn't have a lot of takeaways that season. So I really hope we can get back to a defense that can produce takeaways. Because you produce takeaways, you give the offense more opportunities to beef up the score. And you know something? Adding D'Angelo Hall to the coaching staff was really, really quite a move. We got to remember, we used to play against D'Angelo Hall for a couple of seasons. For actually a handful of seasons. But getting D'Angelo Hall, that was kind of a crazy move, if you ask me. But man, his first coaching opportunity is on a team that he played against for so many years. That's crazy. Can you imagine that? We literally picked up an enemy on our coaching staff and D'Angelo Hall. But very intriguing hire. Carolina Pride says, imagine picking up Bates and Ramsey in free agency. Ramsey as in Jalen Ramsey? Oh, man. Jalen Ramsey not too long ago won a Super Bowl? Shoot. Dang, that would be sick. Jalen Ramsey working alongside J.C. Horn. Whew. If Avero gets head coach job, Cooley moves up to D.C. because he ran it with him in L.A. And D'Angelo Hall becomes cornerbacks coach. That would be an ideal move for sure. Most definitely. I just find it funny. I mean, this is somebody that him and Steve Smith used to go at it all the time. Like, all the time. And now he's on the Carolina Panthers coaching staff. That's crazy. That is Crazy. But hey, Carolina Panthers organization wasn't playing around about this coaching staff. So the only thing that we need now, we just need a tight ends coach. We need a tight ends coach. What else do we need? We need a tight ends coach and a. Wait a minute. We need a tight ends coach and actually I think that's it. I think we just need a tight ends coach and that, yeah. Yeah, I think just tight ends coach is really the only thing we're missing. You know? Because I mean we got our offense and defensive coordinators. We retained the offensive line and special teams coordinator. We got wide receivers taken care of. We got running backs taken care of, quarterbacks. So we just need tight end. On defense, we got our secondary and cornerbacks, adding on D'Angelo Hall as well, assistant defensive backs. Burt Watts is with the safeties. Todd Wash, D-line. Peter Hansen and Tim Lukabu on the linebackers. So, yeah. I think that's really all that we need is a tight ends coach. Hey, anybody want to call Greg Olson, Wesley Walls? I'll even take Chris Mangum. Anybody? You know what I mean? I'll take Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez. Carolina rewrote the book on building a staff. Yeah. But you know what? I'll say this. You know what? I'll say this. I think we got to give some kudos to owner David Tepper. You know what? I think he had a coming to Christ moment and realized some of the mistakes that he made. I think we got to give him just a little bit of credit. I think he realized the mistakes that he made with some of his decision making, and I think he's trying to really turn the ship around, put the right people in the right places, let Scott Fitterer work. I gotta give him a little bit of credit, just a little bit of credit. Carolina Panthers, just think, Nicole Tepper got in trouble for quality training, and yet we are the most diverse staff in the NFL. Kind of ironic. That is actually a good point. That's actually a good point. You're not wrong there. Jeez. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Oh my goodness. That's funny. But yeah, gotta give Mr. Tepper a little bit of credit. And then you got to think, Carolina Pride, you were talking about defense. You got to think with, Ajiro Avero and the folks that have worked under him, plus Jim Caldwell, plus Dom Capers. Whoo, my goodness. My goodness. It's like layer upon layer upon layer with this coaching staff. Man, Like, there had to have been something said in the interview with Frank Reich where Frank Reich was just, look, you want to see a coaching staff? You hire me right now. I'll give you a coaching staff worth every bit of that money and then some. I don't know what Frank Reich said or whatnot, but shoot. Must have been like, you hire me right now. I will give you a banger of a coaching staff. Carolina Pride says, I think the Colts made the biggest mistake in their franchise history. Oh, letting go of Frank Reich? Well, to be fair, Frank Reich did admit his mistakes. He admitted his faults. And, there were some things he tried to do. It didn't work. So, I mean, Frank Reich, held himself accountable. I mean, he did hold himself accountable. I just wasn't expecting for them to bring in Jeff Saturday as the interim coach. That I did not expect. They did that, and I was just like, I was just like, what? Like, that's crazy. Or did Jim Irsay not let him? Ooh, well, Jim Irsay, word is, has not really been the best to work with. So you got a point there. You got a point there. You got a point there. And you know something? I'm kind of curious. I want to see what free agent quarterbacks are available. Cornerbacks. I mean, would y'all be against bringing back James Bradbury? Shoot, Jonathan Jones would be nice. There's not really a whole lot of, cornerbacks that kind of stick out to me, to be honest with you. Carolina Pride says, remember, he took the job there when McDaniels turned it down. The staff was already hired. This is literally his first staff he has fully hired, which is a good point. This is a good point. You're talking about what, Frank Reich? Yeah, this is Frank Reich's staff. That is a very good point. You're not wrong there. But let's see. I'm just really interested in just seeing who they may pursue in free agency. Carolina Pride says LA is in cap trouble. Ramsey may be available for a late round pick. Yo, the staff he won the Super Bowl with is here. That is true. I mean, that is true. Because that's right. He worked with he worked with Mr. Coach Cooley. That's right. That's right. He worked with Mr. Jonathan Cooley. I mean, and defensive coordinator was Ejiro Evero. That's right. That's right. That's right. Wait a minute. Wasn't Austin Corbett trying to campaign? Wasn't he trying to campaign to get Jalen Ramsey? If I remember correctly, Austin Corbett, who also played with Jalen Ramsey on the Super Bowl team. I think he tried to campaign to get him. Robert Woods is available. He was trying to get him today. Ah, gotcha. But man, getting a Jalen Ramsey, whoo-wee. And the thing is, Jalen Ramsey has been healthy. Jalen Ramsey has been able to bounce back since the 2019 season, his last year with Jacksonville. He's bounced back since then. So, I mean, shoot. Would you give up a third round pick for him? Oh, third round pick this season? Actually, I don't see why not. I mean, we have two second round picks and 2 fourth round picks. Yeah, I don't see why not. Man, Jalen Ramsey, who I believe just interviewed J.C. Horn recently. Or, I don't know how long ago that was, but he recently interviewed J.C. Horn. So, I mean, Jalen Ramsey, third round pick for Jalen Ramsey? Shoot. Ooh, there's a Cat Crave article for 3 easiest salary cap decisions the Panthers can make. Carolina Pride says Horn and Ramsey would be locked down on both sides. Shoot. And we already saw how well J.C. Horn did this season. I mean, honestly, if he would have played all 17 games, shoot, he would have probably been in contention for that Defensive Rookie of the Year, which, I mean, Sauce Gardner won, which I can understand why Sauce Gardner won. Makes sense. But still, there would be a little more competition. But yeah, J.C. Horn and Jalen Ramsey, that would, that would be killer. Man, that would, oh man. Having those two on the outside would benefit the pass rush the most. Yeah. Pass rush would be strong, and they could just clean up. They could just clean up the mess that the pass rush makes. All they would have to do is just pick up the clean it up. So yeah, that's a good point. 3 easiest salary cap decisions. Number 1, cut Damian Wilson, which would save $3.61 million in cap. Which Damian Wilson's production decreased anyway, so that's that makes sense. Cut Pat Elflein, which would save $4.26 million, which I definitely think they are going to do, is cut Pat Elflein. I think they're definitely going to do that. And then number 3, restructure DJ Moore's contract, which would save $12.72 million. So the Carolina Panthers, according to Spot Track, are $9.56 million over the cap. I mean, I think if it came down to it, I think DJ Moore would be down to restructure if it meant getting the right add-ons necessary in the offseason. Because, I mean, if we're $9.56 million over the cap, I think that could be cleaned up like that. I mean, what do y'all think? Having those 2 on the outside would benefit the pass rush the most. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It would also threaten wide receivers and threaten the quarterback as well. But yeah, if we're only $9.56 million over the cap, I think that could be cleaned up rather quick. Extended Shaq, spread his money out. You could jump to $50 million cap space real quick. And the funny thing about that, Carolina Pride, there was actually an article that was talking about how they could save $50 million in cap space, and restructuring Shaq was definitely one of the solutions. So yeah, I definitely believe this. They'll clean that up. I think they'll definitely clean that up. Also, another article here, Cat Cray, 4 draft gambles the Carolina Panthers could make in 2023. Oh, this is interesting. They could ignore O-line depth. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Number 2, Carolina Panthers could trade up to number 1 overall. That's probably the biggest gamble. Number 3, Panthers could draft Will Levis. I don't know if that's a gamble or not. Or number 4, Carolina Panthers could draft Anthony Richardson. I mean, the thing with Anthony Richardson, the word is they say that he has the highest ceiling. But like I said, when it comes to quarterbacks, I think that I'm pretty open. As far as quarterbacks in the draft, I'm pretty open. Carolina Pride says, what do you think about getting DeAndre Hopkins? He is on the trade block. 34 mil over 2 years. We have 90 mil in cap space next year. Wait, we do? I honestly didn't think we could afford him. I know Joe Valesco had mentioned about DeAndre Hopkins, but I honestly did not think we would have been able to afford him. For 2024. Oh, considering going after him for 2024. Oh, well, I mean, shoot. That's another explosive weapon, that's for sure. It would be another explosive weapon in the receiving game. 90 million available in 2024. Oh. Would be another explosive weapon. That's for sure. DeAndre Hopkins, who has been healthy throughout most of his career, just kind of falling off a little bit after his first season in Arizona, falling off just a little bit, but 30 years old. I mean, shoot. And let me take a closer look at Robert Woods. Okay. I mean, Robert Woods' best career was definitely with the Rams, that's for sure. Did a little bit of a something with Buffalo though. But hey, why not? Carolina Pride says, if we could trade a third for Ramsey and a second for D Hop, draft a quarterback and let's roll. So trade the third round for Ramsey and trade one of our second rounds for DeAndre. So here's my thing with that. Which you are right. Scotty Fitt does want a deep threat. You are right about that. Here's the thing. I'm still really concerned about the D line, Carolina Pride. I'm still concerned about the D line. Only, and don't get me wrong. I know the base is going to change to a 3-4, but I'm just hoping because I really don't think we got a lot of pressure the quarterback and with the D line this past season. So I am a little bit concerned about the D line, but I mean, having a Jalen Ramsey, a DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, that would definitely strengthen the team greatly. I am also curious to see, you know what? What other wide receivers are available? Nah, Julio Jones, he's too old. Wait a minute. Hold up. How do y'all feel about Juju? What about Juju? Juju just won a championship. Juju's a free agent. What are we trying to go after Juju? Juju might be too much, though. He might be too well. How do y'all feel about Juju? Not sure his personality would fit. Oh, he's another young head. He's another young head. But I mean, DJ and Juju, that could be quite a combo. I mean, shoot, I would rather go with him over Nelson Aguilar, that's for sure. Yeah. Juju probably wouldn't cost a whole lot to get him. But also really like Jalen Hyatt in the second round, deep threat. He was a track star. Jalen Hyatt. Let's take a look. Jalen Hyatt. Oh dang! I didn't misspell the name. Can't seem to find him. Or I tried looking on ESPN. Hold up. I found him. Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt. Ooh. 67 catches, 1,267 yards, 15 touchdowns. Dang. Definitely sounds like a deep threat. Goodness gracious. How do you feel about Mecole Hardman, who is a free agent? Hardman is a returner as well. It's not a name I'm familiar with, actually. So I would have to take your word for it. Mecole Hardman, who's apparently, he's undergoing surgery. Young guy, though, but currently undergoing surgery, groin surgery. Ooh, yikes. So I guess it's just a matter of if he would be ready in time. But a returner, okay. Oh, he actually has one punt and kickoff return for a touchdown in his career. Oh, okay. I see you. It's on the Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs. Right on. Ooh, here's a Jalen Hyatt caught bombs from Hendon Hooker all season. Oh, for real? Well, shoot. Looks like it if he's got dang on 1,200 yards receiving. Shoot. Looks like it. Dang. Especially averaging 18.9 yards a catch. Jeez. Dang, he really blew up last year. Went from 20 catches to 21 catches to 67 catches. Goodness gracious. Yeah, he definitely blew up. Definitely blew up this past season. Goodness gracious. Highlight reel is ridiculous. Ran a 10-second 100-meter. Jeez. You know what? Let me put that in my to do. Oh shoot. Started typing his name in. Bam. Let me bookmark that so I can check that later. Thank you for sharing. I'm a bookmark that and check that out. Actually, you know what? You know what? Let me see a little something here. Dang. Dude's got pretty dang on good speed. This Jalen Hyatt. Dang. Good route running, too. Okay. Oh, even line him up out of the backfield for some catches. Okay. Whoa, that's an interesting formation. Kind of had him like almost like at a tight end for a second and came into motion for kind of like a jet screen. Okay. He's got some tackle breaking as well. Oh, there's the deep ball. Oh, snap. Yeah. I see what you're saying now, Carolina Pride. Okay. All right. He would be nice in the slot. Hey, maybe the our replacement Curtis Samuel, perhaps, or even more than that. Shoot. Okay. Dude knows how to slice through a secondary, though. I give him that. Hey, point well made, Carolina Pride. Point well made. Point well made. Another article here, 4 Panther players that could be extended on the cheap. Eddie Pinheiro, well, it depends, but we still have Zane Gonzalez under contract. But probably would be, cheaper. So I guess that's fair. Sam Franklin, which something tells me they probably will bring back Sam Franklin. Cam Irving, I guess maybe for depth. And Corey Littleton. See, I don't think Corey Littleton did that well. I don't think he did that well. I would take him at 39 all day. Oh, you would take Jalen Hyatt at pick number 39? Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Nice. So you would take him over Quentin Johnson or Quentin Johnston? Because apparently Quentin Johnston they actually have in the first round, going in the first round. What do you think about Quentin Johnston? Littleton did pretty well in coverage. Would be a good depth piece. I thought he did better in the run, or did I get it backwards? I thought it was stopping the run that he was better at, or maybe I have it back. Maybe I have it backwards. But I wonder. Zay Flowers is better Iverson in a football. Is a better Iverson in a football jersey. Ooh. Interesting. Rankings are Zay Flowers, Addison, then Johnston, then Hyatt. Gotcha. Okay. Zay Flowers, wide receiver out of Boston College. Oh, okay. 1,077 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns, 78 catches. Oh, okay. Say what? Jordan Addison, wide receiver out of USC, 59 catches, 875 yards, 8 touchdowns. Okay. Fair enough. So I also wonder, so we still need a tight ends coach. I wonder who Frank Reich has in mind for tight ends coach. That's the one spot we still got to fill. Still got to fill that one spot. And not only that, if I remember correctly, I think Mike Gesicki was a name that was mentioned as far as who the Panthers should possibly target at tight end. Mike Gesicki, young tight end. I mean, shoot. He's had a few good seasons with the Dolphins. So I mean, you know, he's a freebie. Zay Flowers turned down a $600,000 nil deal to stay with Boston College. High character guy. Oh, okay. Did not know that. I'm pretty sure they are gonna hire the tight end coach from UNC. Oh yeah, I think I remember that was mentioned. He had a specific name. I forgot what the name was. UNC coach. Let me see if I can. John Lilly. John Lilly. John Lilly. Okay. He is currently the tight ends coach and run game coordinator for UNC Chapel Hill. Oh. He has a little bit of NFL experience and apparently was an assistant at Georgia with Thomas Brown. Oh. So he knows a little bit of the staff. Worked with Thomas Brown. Uh-oh. So he's been a tight end coach for the Rams in 2016 and for the Browns in 2019. Okay. And he's coached tight ends and special teams with the University of Georgia for many years, actually. Okay. So has a lot more college experience, but does have some NFL experience. So, yeah, I can see what you mean, Carolina Pride. I can see what you mean. Yeah, it's got quite a resume there, especially in college. Well, that might be the last position filled. Hey, fair enough. I mean, he's worked with Thomas Brown, so there's some familiarity there. So I mean, hey, I'm down. I'm definitely down. But this team and organization still has a lot of work to do. But you know what? Got to be happy with how progress has been going since the start of this offseason for the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Pride says, my bold prediction is Carolina has a turnaround like the Bengals did. Yeah, and the Bengals have definitely had quite the turnaround, especially after Burrow came back from injury and really got his career started. Oh, man. And I mean, just back, the Bengals were in back-to-back, at least back-to-back AFC championships. Of course, they were in the Super Bowl 2 Super Bowls ago. So, hey, hopefully things will turn around for us. I mean, shoot, Trevor Lawrence just got his first taste of the playoffs with the Jaguars. So, But like I said, that February 28th date can't come soon enough because that's going to be the scouting combine from the 28th to March 6th. So there's going to be a lot to look out for. And we only have until March 7th to franchise tag anybody. Carolina Pride says, if we can get this quarterback situation right. You know what? I'll say this, and anything can happen, but I'll say this. I have a good feeling. We saw how this organization went deep to work, and Frank Reich, was hired. The coaching staff that's been built has looked great. I got a feeling that it's going to translate to the player personnel. I really do. I think it's just really going to come down to the right people to fill the right pieces that we've been lacking and just making the right moves in the draft, like making the best moves in the draft. And with Frank Reich, we don't have Matt Rule anymore, but with Frank Reich, Scott Fitterer, as long as David Tepper just lets them do their thing, just sit back, let them work, let the scouts do what they got to do. I think we're going to get our guy. And then some. I really do. But we'll see what happens. It hasn't been that long since the Super Bowl concluded, but this organization has been great at work. But I have a good feeling. We got a lot of veterans on this coaching staff. We got some youngins on here as well, but they can be built up and supported by said veterans. I think the coaching staff is there. We just got to fill in the other spots and just go hard. But we'll see what happens. We still got a lot to do. I mean, next week is when the month of March arrives. So we still got to finish up this month strong. But get hyped, y'all. Get hyped. Carolina Panther fans, keep pounding nation. Get hyped. This is exciting. This is an exciting just time that we're going through. Things are getting built up. Things look to be going in the right direction so far. But I'm excited. Carolina Pride says, is Burns on his 5th-year option? We may have to tag him. So I think with Brian Burns, let's see. Because yes. So hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So Brian Burns is on his 5th-year option, which has been exercised. So he becomes an unrestricted free agent next year. I think there's still the possibility of them working out an extension. I think that's still a possibility that they may work out an extension ASAP. But yes, he is on his 5th-year option. And it has been exercised. So, yeah. So, yeah. Looks like he's going to be with us for one more year. Becomes an unrestricted free agent next year. So, there you go. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for this video tonight. Like I said, a lot of moves being made. They still got to fill out the tight end position, but tight end coach position, but it's exciting. Defense is going to run a base 3-4. That's been confirmed. Frank Reich looks like he's going to be doing the play calling until whatever specified time to pass that to Thomas Brown. And yeah, it's a lot to look forward to. Thank Thank you so much, Carolina Pride, for coming through. Always welcome back here. But yeah, y'all, keep pounding. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. Get hyped, get excited. Some good things are happening with more to come. So get excited. Anyway, thank y'all so much for coming through, chatting it up with me. This was good. I had a fun time. Once again, don't forget to check out the link to Game Beauty. Use that promo code BlitzballChamp, 10% off of your order if you're interested. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank y'all so much for watching. For another Carolina Panthers Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. Wow. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Once again, happy Ash Wednesday. The season of Lent has begun. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week. Stay blessed, stay hyped, keep pounding, and I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Peace out.